that anxiety that grips, the depression that never fades. You reach for something, anything to make it stop. Different doors, same corridor. We call it addiction. No one plans to end up here. No one wakes up and says, "Today I lose control." It starts smaller, quieter. One drink, one puff, one night, a dare, a laugh, a why not. You say, "I've got this," but by the time you realize, you don't. You are already inside it. People call it addiction, but that's not the whole story. People call it weakness, but that's not true. It's about your brain wiring, it's about your curiosity, it's about the escape from pain or from boredom. Different doors leading to the same trap, and you don't even know when you get trapped. Some begin with a question: what does it feel like? A teenager tries a cigarette out of curiosity. One laugh becomes two, and two becomes a habit. And then some people do it because of the need to belong. Because if they say no, they'll get isolated. They take a sip because everyone else does. Fitting in becomes identity, and habit becomes the comfort. And then there are others who begin to quieten the noise, that inner chatter which never stops, that restless buzzing mind, not sadness, not calm, just that unease. A pill, a smoke, a scroll steadies that mind. And then others try to escape what's already broken, the trauma that never healed, the pain that won't fade, that neglectful parenting, that anxiety that grips, the depression that never fades. You reach for something, anything to make it stop. What better than the substance? What better than alcohol? What better than the smoke? What better than Instagram reel? And what better than sugar? Different doors, same corridor. We call it addiction. Addiction usually hides in plain sight. It wears success, it wears control, it says, "I'm fine, I'm not addicted." And then addiction never tells you the chatter which is going behind. You see a man who drinks too much, but you don't hear his mind talking, "You are not enough." You see the woman who overspends, but not the emptiness between her achievements. You see the student gaming through the night, but not the restlessness he tried to quieten. They're not chasing pleasure, they're chasing quiet, they're chasing calm, they're chasing peace, which they never get. Sometimes they're avoiding pain, which never stops, the sadness, which makes you want to kill yourself. And sometimes it's just a whisper which says, "I need a moment where I don't have to be me." But here's the twist that no one sees coming. Addiction isn't just one villain, it's a network of forces colliding. Let me talk more about those network forces. First of all, biology. The wiring you are born with, your brain chemistry, your inheritance. Some people are wired that way. If you have the history of addiction in your family, beware. Probably inherently you don't release enough dopamine, and then the outside dopamine takes you to the skies. But the problem is, it crashes even faster. If addiction runs in your bloodline, your brain's reward circuitry already might be tuned to that same frequency, the need to feel alive. But genetics doesn't dictate your destiny, it loads your gun. It's the environment, the world that pulls the trigger. If bad genetics is met by bad environment, uncooperative parents, bad family dynamics, sexual abuse, neglecting the child, emotionally unstable parents, that is the time the trigger is pulled. And then there are others who cannot sit still. These are creative minds, these are divergent minds. But the same spark that feeds ambition and creativity also drives this compulsion, also makes you vulnerable for addictions. So, genetics plays a big role. Now, let's talk about factor number two, which is oversold these days on social media, but very few people understand what it is: trauma. Maybe you were hurt, ignored as a child, maybe you were abused physically, emotionally, sexually. Maybe you became a parent to your own mother or father. When the parents fought, the mother came to you to rant out, and maybe that's the cause. Factor number three, maybe you're now suffering from any psychiatric issue. That anxiety which never stops, that depression which makes you feel numb and sad, and you're just drinking to feel alive. You're just drinking to forget your performance pressure of the morning. Maybe you're suffering from ADHD. That restless brain never stops. And your ADHD brain has not been directed to something productive. So it quietens itself by taking a substance. So, in all, there are many reasons: genetics, environment, psychiatric issues, so on and so forth. Home, work, chaos, pressure, loneliness. If your word does not give you the calm, your mind finds a way to substitute it. So, why do we get addicted? Your brain is a survivor. When it finds that something works, anything, be it alcohol, be it food, it remembers. And whenever it feels distressed again, it asks you to ponder. It remembers, this is the thing which made my pain go away. So whenever I feel upset, bring this thing to me. So next time you're hurt, you use it again. So next time you're bored, you use it again. So next time you feel the pain, you use it again. And in the end, it starts dictating you. It's no more about the pleasure anymore. It says, now the body has gotten used to me. Now I need to have it. Now, if I don't take it, I feel the withdrawal symptoms. So it has taken full control. It has captivated you. The door you built to escape becomes a door you can't stop walking through. When you try to stop, the body revolts. The mind panics. It screams. The whole day is spent thinking about the same thing again and again. And then, after a few days, you relapse. You go back to that substance again. Let's talk about the families who suffer with the patient. It doesn't take only one life, it pulls down the families. You see your son and say, he's choosing this. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's dependent now. Maybe he's choosing to breathe. You look at your partner and say, he loves the bottle more than me. Judgment adds the shame. It feeds the cycle. If you want to help, stop asking, why can't they stop? And start asking, what happened to them? What is the history behind it? What problems does he face when he tries to stop? More than the saving, they need the seeing. If it is so dark, why am I making this video? Because every story can have a turning point. Not a loud turning point, not a dramatic one. That one realization that I can't do this more, that I will take help if needed, that I am not the weak one. I'm just dependent on things which are not good for me. And to take that out of my system, I'll take help. Because the monster was never the substance, it was the pain, it was the boredom, it was the curiosity, it was the escape, it was the bad environment. So if you are dependent on something, seek help. Even if you have failed many times, even if you have relapsed many times, if you are the family member of an addict, seek help. Thank you.